In our top 20 countdown, we're going to look at 20 of the world's best champions or stars who all have one thing in common. They all share the star sign Gemini. In this top 20, we'll look at the sports stars born between the 21st of May and the 21st of June. We're talking about Geminis. Geminis are supposed to be bright, quick-witted and the life of the party. Gemini's traits of excellent leadership and communication skills can be seen in Lampard's role as vice-captain for Chelsea, bringing this designer team to victory. But this guy is not only content with playing football, Lampard is an author with his own children's series, Frankie's Magic Football.
Frank Lampard is a very intelligent man, very adaptable, so not only can he be brilliant on the field, but he can adapt himself to even writing a children's book.
The number 19 slot goes to an American soccer player, and she's no ordinary one at that.
Heather Mitts is one of those Geminis that likes to buck the trend. She's a person that shows the female side of Gemini that can be quite a family person in many ways and nurturing. So she likes to be part of a team. She likes at the same time to be competitive and strong. So you've got these two qualities working together and she'll go far.
As a Gemini, he has the innate disposition to react instantly like a live wire to situations. Geminis don't like to share their emotions, and this could explain why Hagler found it so difficult to deal with the loss of his fight.
Marvin Hagler is perfect as a boxer because Gemini signs are an air sign, they're quick thinkers, so a boxer needs to be quick with their hands, quick on their feet. But they don't take defeat very well.
Retired but not out, Hagler went on to become an action movie star, proving that you can take the boxer out of the ring, but not the fight out of the boxer. Good on you, Marvin. Bad boy and former international footballer Eric Cantona enters the fray at number 16. He won 4 Premier League titles in 5 years and 2 League and FA Cup doubles. But, and this is a big but, he has a bit of a fiery temper.
One minute they can be nice, next minute they can see red and completely snap. Cantona was typical Gemini in this respect.
His star sign makes him sensitive to his environment, picking up the moods and emotions of other people. When he captures negative influences, they will overwhelm him, and this is shown in his very short fuse, gaining red cards on the pitch. He was even banned for 8 months for kicking a fan. Next up at number 7 is the Australian triple gold medalist from the 2008 Summer Olympics, swimmer Stephanie Rice.
Stephanie Rice should have been a film star because Geminis are brilliant in front of the camera. They love to be outspoken, they love to shock sometimes, and we only need to look at her life to discover that.
This fiery Gemini has been in trouble for her bluntness whilst airing her opinions on Twitter. In 2010, she was asked to remove offensive remarks from her social media page aimed at the rugby union teams, including the South African and Australian teams, referring negatively to homosexuality. In 2012, Stephanie also caught the world's attention by posting photos of herself in sexy outfits all over her social media pages, which, as you can imagine, drew lots of attention. Geminis are known for being natural show-offs, and this is shown clearly by Stephanie with her go-get-it attitude and overpowering confidence. Geminis are quick-thinking, quick-witted and fast on their feet, much like the messenger god of Roman mythology that rules their sign, so Allen Iverson was definitely born under the right star sign. Nicknamed The Answer, this American basketball player is one of the most prolific scorers in NBA history, despite him only being 1.8 meters tall. Most of his career was spent at the Philadelphia 76ers, and when he retired in 2013, Iverson's number 3 jersey retired with him. But playing Major League Basketball brings big bucks. Geminis are good at both earning and spending money and tend to have a free and easy attitude towards it. They can get easily carried away, which is exactly what happened to Iverson. Despite reportedly amassing a fortune of $200 million during his career, Iverson was said to have retired broke due to alleged gambling and alcohol addictions.
In basketball, you need to be able to take a chance. You've got to have a very fast mind and make split decisions. And he is a person that can do this and will take a risk, both on the field and in his private life. And of course, gambling is one of the bad traits of Gemini that can often be their downfall.
But from witnessing a murder at the age of 8 to time in jail at 17 to Rookie of the Year, this Gemini has certainly beaten his demons. And so what if he's lost a few pennies? This boy really did good. Barrichello has stated that racing is in my blood, getting his first car at the tender age of 6. Geminis adapt easily to new situations, and Barrichello has shown this in his move from F1 to IndyCar to stock car racer.
Rubens Barrichello is a person that's like being put in an electric chair and his brain is just on fire. Formula One's just not fast enough. He loves to Twitter, will love electronic things and gadgets. And of course, we'll move on through all sorts of exciting games such as stock car racing and IndyCar. So that's his way. He'll be a live wire all his life.
What don't we know about this man? Well, he runs 6 days a week between 6 kilometres and 16, a definite trait of a Gemini. Far too much energy. So who makes it to our number 1 slot? At her peak, this lady was a force to be reckoned with and landed title after title. It is the former German tennis player Steffi Graf.
Steffi Graf, typical Gemini in some respects because she's completely stone-faced on one level, absolutely cold she can be, but hidden is the other twin there inside her, the one that's emotional with lots of difficulties. And so it's a typical Gemini. 1 minute she's your friend, next minute she's your enemy.
With her powerful, efficient and logical playing, Steffi is a true Gemini. We have learnt that the star sign Gemini is on top of the list of achievers in sport. They love working in teams but also enjoy their independence, and communication is the key. But with 2 sides, you never know just what side you'll get. Till next time. Welcome to our countdown of the top 20 sporting stars with the Libra star sign. Those lucky enough to be born between the 23rd of September and the 22nd of October share the same star sign as many of the world's best athletes. From footballers to tennis stars, these Libras share many traits that lend themselves to sport at the highest level. Whether it's working well in a team or having a sense of fair play, people born under this star sign certainly know what to do on a sports field. Bouncing in at number 18, we have basketball player Emily Gomis. The point guard is very family orientated.
She actually goes to the extent of having her 2 sisters, twins, tattooed on her wrist.
She also calls the French national basketball team her second family, which also reveals another strong Libra trait of being a good, loyal team player. This Olympic silver medalist might not be a household name, but in basketball she has remained at the top of her game for a number of years. At number 14 is the Australian swimmer Ian Thorpe. Thorpe is one of the most decorated swimmers of all time and has a special place in Australian sporting folklore. Thorpe won 6 gold medals at the 2001 World Aquatics Championship, becoming the first person to achieve this feat. Libras tend to be very sensitive and subsequently often prone to depression, a mental illness that Thorpe has suffered from for quite some time.
Librans need to be open, they don't like to bottle things in, and overloading themselves with emotion can cause them a complete breakdown. As we found with Ian Thorpe, he has to let it out and has some real problems.
As lovers of beauty and style, it's no wonder that our swimmer is an ambassador of clothing brand Armani. In at number 13 is the French footballer Vikash Darasu. The central midfielder played for the France national side 18 times after making his debut in 1999. During his club career, Darasu played for some of the biggest clubs in Europe, such as AC Milan and Paris Saint-Germain. Since retiring from football in 2007, Vikash has kept himself very busy, playing poker.
Which is a completely unusual thing for a Libran, because A, Librans like to show their true emotions, so can't keep a poker face, and they're terrible at making decisions, which you really have to do in poker.
He has cashed in on European poker tours, winning over €500,000. At number 12 is cyclist Tom Boonen, known as Tornado Tom. The Belgian is one of the most successful road bike racers of recent times, but his lifestyle may have stopped him from becoming one of the best. The 2005 and 2012 World Cycling Champion has admitted battling problems with alcohol and has on 3 occasions tested positive for cocaine.
The problem with Librans and the problem with Tom Boonen is that they are easily led astray, and we can see from his career this is exactly what may have happened.
we think Tom may need to learn to say no. Italian footballer Francesco Totti is in at number 11. After his mother refused to let him join AC Milan, Totti joined Roma and stayed there for the whole of his career.
Librans are very loyal people and they don't like a lot of change, and when they find harmony they stick with it, and Totti has certainly done that because he's stuck with Roma right through his career.
This incredible loyalty has made him their top goal scorer. With over 200 goals and with over 550 appearances, he is their most capped player. At number 10 is the French multiple Olympic medalist Laure Manodou. The swimmer won gold in the Athens Summer Olympics in 2004. It was France's first gold medal ever in women's swimming and the first gold medal won by a French swimmer for over 50 years. After incredible success in the pool, it came as a shock to the swimming world when she announced her retirement from competitive swimming in September 2009 at just 22 years old. As Libras are notoriously bad at making and sticking to decisions, it wasn't the biggest surprise when just over a year later, in October 2010, Manodou made a return to the sport. Family is a strong motivator for Libras, and Manodou took a break from swimming at the peak of her professional career to have her daughter Manon in 2010.
In the 2012 Olympics, Laure Manodou lost, but she gave her congratulations to her brother in the same sport, which is typical of the magnanimous Libran.
Like many swimmers, Manodou is very versatile and competed in a wide range of events. This enabled her to rack up an impressive medal haul. Whether it be Olympic medals or World Championship titles, it's safe to say this Libra is one of France's best ever swimmers. In at number 9 is the popular South African footballer Siphiwe Tshabalala. The midfielder is a product of South Africa's Kaizer Chiefs Youth Academy, but it took him a long time to break into the senior side, and he spent many seasons on loan to other clubs before making his Chiefs debut in 2007. He has since gone on to be the club's key player and has led the side to several cup wins. Such is his importance to the club that he won the South African Football Association Footballer of the Year in 2010. Tshabalala is one of the biggest names in South African football and has won nearly 100 caps for his national side, taking part in the 2010 World Cup and 2 Africa Cup of Nations tournaments. Loyalty and being a good team player is important to Libras, and this is true to our man Siphiwe, who has been a long supporter and fan of his current club, as well as being a member of their youth setup.
Librans generally have very good high moral standards and good human values, and Siphiwe likes to set an example to young children.
Weighing in at number 4 is one of the most famous boxers of all time, Evander Holyfield. Holyfield is the only 4-time world heavyweight champion, winning various belts and titles over a 10-year period. He is also famous for being on the receiving end of Mike Tyson's bite.
This man bit me on my ear, you know. I jumped up and I was taped off to the foot.
Holyfield had a piece of his ear bitten off during the 1997 rematch against Tyson. The boxer has been a household name for a number of years in America, being the face of multiple products such as Coca-Cola and Diet Coke.
Why is Evander Holyfield so completely unlike any Libran I know? He looks for balance and yet he's so unbalanced. Perhaps it's because he had his ear bit off.
Libras tend to be more loyal than he has proven to be, with 3 failed marriages behind him and countless affairs. Libras can be self-indulgent, which could explain how Holyfield has spent his fortune so quickly. It has been said that during his career, Holyfield earned an estimated €168 million in prize money alone. Unfortunately, by 2008, all of this was gone, and it wasn't long before he was selling his Olympic medal, championship belts and gloves just to pay back unpaid taxes. Now that is really some serious spending. In at number 2 is the Swedish footballing sensation Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Zlatan is the world's most expensive footballer due to his numerous high-profile transfers to some of the world's biggest clubs. This Libra is incredibly talented and has won trophies at every single club he has ever played for. He released an autobiography titled I Am Zlatan in 2011, which went on to be a bestseller as it dished the dirt on his rough childhood and his numerous clashes with coaches and managers of previous clubs. Ibrahimovic seems to be the opposite of a typical Libra. He has admitted to being a bully and over the years has been involved in several violent incidents, such as in 2011 when he kicked teammate Antonio Cassano in the face.
When the Libran scales go out of balance, it can go in a big way, and Zlatan is proving it because for him it's all ego now.
There is no doubt that Zlatan is involved in many different things. He has a natural interest in art, and this could be why he has made such successful forays into clothing, shoes and various other sporting products. Our number one is the 1995 FIFA World Player of the Year and three-time African Footballer of the Year, George Weah. Welcome back. This is our top 20 countdown of the world's most famous sports stars born under the star sign Cancer. At number 12, we have the most successful world superbike racer of all time, and yep, he's a Cancerian. Welcome, Carl Fogarty. Now retired, he became world famous for his high corner speed riding style. True to the star sign's emotional base, Fogarty channels his emotions into an aggressive competitiveness which for him resulted in 59 victories and 4 World Superbike Championships. Forced to retire from racing in 2000 after a racing incident at Phillip Island, Fogarty became a co-owner of popular restaurant Les Vaches in the upmarket Swiss ski resort of Verbier.
Every superbike champion that I've seen is as thin as a pencil, but Carl Fogarty loves his food, so he must have a lot of conflicts. This is a typical Cancerian trait. They love their food.
He frequently voices his opinion, berating past rivals such as Troy Corser and Neil Hodgson. Not one to hide their emotions, this is typical Cancer behaviour, which has inevitably made Fogarty a love or hate kind of guy in the motorcycling world. Number 10 is one Cancerian sports star who needs no introduction, Lionel Messi. By the age of 22, Messi had won the Ballon d'Or and FIFA World Player of the Year, and at 25 he became the youngest player to score 200 La Liga goals.
One of the big secrets of Cancerians is if they start young, they succeed.
The most complete footballer, I think, ever. Brilliant player. I couldn't lace his boots, he's that good.
And Messi sure knows how to take care of his team by leading them to victory many a time, including at the 2005 FIFA Under-20s World Cup. Our number 9 is a guy who is a fish in water, Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps.
Just as well Michael Phelps is a Cancerian, because Cancerians absolutely exceed in the water, but he's one of the most decorated Olympians and has won 22 medals.
True to the family-centric Cancerian traits, Phelps is close with his sisters Whitney and Hilary, who are also athletes. As much as Cancer individuals like to care for and nurture others, they are quick to open their homes and bring those they love into their shell for safety to nurture and care for them. Next is one of the most famous boxers in the world, Michael Gerald Tyson, nicknamed Iron Mike. Tyson was born in Brooklyn, New York on the 30th of June 1966. At just 20 years old, he became the youngest heavyweight boxing champion in the world. He was the first heavyweight boxer to hold WBA, WBC and IBF titles simultaneously, and still the only heavyweight ever to unify them. After serving 3 years of a 6-year sentence for the rape of Desiree Washington, Tyson made a comeback in 1995 and beat his first 2 opponents, winning WBC and WBA titles. After being stripped of the WBC title, he lost the WBA to Evander Holyfield, famously biting his ear in the 1997 match.
One of the things with Cancerians is that their emotions will boil until they get to the point where they're ready to explode. And if you look at Mike Tyson when he's fighting, he'll He'll gradually build up his energy and then he'll just explode.
Tyson's main Cancerian trait would appear to be his inability to let things go, hence him repeatedly trying to regain his former boxing glory. Our number one spot goes to none other than Zinedine Zidane, or Zizou as he's nicknamed. The former footballing legend became famous for playing and scoring for the French national team, Juventus and Real Madrid. Voted the best European footballer of the past 50 years, Zidane has won the FIFA World Player of the Year 3 times, as well as winning the Ballon d'Or. The end of the 2006 World Cup marked his retirement and shift of career into coaching. A perfect move for a Cancerian, with a reflex instinct to care for and nurture those around them.
You do not insult a Cancerian's family, because Zidane proved this when he headbutted Marco Maserati when he insulted his mother.
You'd be lucky to know a Cancerian and have them in your life. And we're sure as hell lucky to have a sporting figure like Zidane in the sports world. Our number one Cancerian sports star.